thought is, everything is easy if you are crazy. Nothing will be easy if you are lazy. I repeat it again. Everything is easy if you are crazy. Nothing will be easy if you are lazy. Good morning everyone. Welcome back. I hope all of you are safe and fit at home, studying well and completing your work on time. This video is for the students of class 8, subject English. And today in this video we are going to read one chapter of supplementary book, that is It So Happened. This is our chapter number 4 and the name of the chapter is The Treasure Within. No writer is mentioned in your book. This is my lecture number 1 of the same chapter. This chapter is taken from It So Happened book. Students, we shall cover this chapter in 2 lectures. So today in this video, we are going to read objectives, key points and detailed summary along with word meanings of chapter number 4, that is The Treasure Within. After then we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 1 of chapter 31, that is book review or film review. Let's see what are the objectives of the chapter. Number 1. To encourage the learners to share their personal experiences. Number 2. To sensitize the students to the feelings of an individual. Number 3. To enable the learners to identify their strength and weakness based on areas of their aptitude and interest. Number 4. To help the learners in making decisions for the future regarding their choice of subjects, courses and careers. Number 5. To enable them use new words and phrases in their own sentences. Number 6. To enable them express themselves in grammatically correct language. So these are the objectives of the chapter. So let's have a look on main key points of the chapter. Number 1. Hafiz was an unhappy but carefree schoolboy who loved doing things but not interested in mechanical learning. Number 2. When he reached his 11th class, the principal advised him to act as a responsible grown-up boy and take his studies seriously. The principal's advice had a deep influence on Hafiz. He scored 50% marks in his SSC exam. Number 3. Hafiz's contractor was destined, means a person's future regarded as developing as through according to a pre-exciting plan. To be an architect. Though he never tried to be one, it was by chance that he became a famous architect. Number 4. The lesson highlights the key idea that every child is talented and a potential achiever and is different from other children in his or her style of learning and area of interest. So these are the key points of the chapter. Before start reading the summary in detail, let's see the introduction of the chapter first. Treasure Within is a lesson based on a conversation between Mrs. Bela Raja, editor of newspaper Sparsh, and Mr. Hafiz Contractor, one of India's leading architects. Architects means a person who designs buildings and in many cases also supervises their constructions. Hafiz Contractor was good at drawing sketches, but as a schoolboy, he didn't do well in academics. He passed his exams only by copying. Architect Hafiz Contractor is full of surprising and revolutionary ideas. Revolutionary ideas means involving or causing a complete or dramatic change. He looks at the face and clothes of a client and learns about his habit and tastes. This helps him to design for the client. His designs are stimulating, means encouraging, and spontaneous, means natural. His famous designs are Lake Castle Building, Imperial Towers, MP Compound Mill, etc. At present, he is a member of the Bombay Heritage Committee and New Delhi Luncheon's Bungalow Zone Review Committee. Hafiz explains, architecture can give form to beliefs and can make building into a real and arresting symbol of brand intent. So this is the introduction of the chapter. So now let's read detailed summary of part 1 along with word meanings. Every child is a potential achiever and is different from other children in her or his style of learning and area of interest. Means every child is capable of doing big things. He can become a hero in the area of his interest. What is needed most is to discover his or her talent or aptitude. Hafiz Contractor is a living example of such a hero. Hafiz Contractor is today India's leading architect, but he was unhappy and careless at school. He loved doing things and hated mechanical learning. He used to have terrible dreams about appearing for a maths exam in which he knew nothing at all. The following interview is based on a conversation between Mrs. Bela Raja, editor of Sparsh, a newsletter, from the Resource Center, the Valley School, Bangalore, and Mr. Hafiz Contractor, one of India's leading architects. So here, the Bela Raja, she was asking question from Hafiz Contractor, tell us something about your earliest memories in the school or in school. Hafiz Contractor replied, unhappy schooling. I used to have this terrible nightmare. Nightmare means haunting fear. Only now, over the last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. Means he used to have terrible nightmares about appearing for a maths exam in which he knew nothing at all. Now from last 4 to 5 years, all the dreams had been disappeared. Means Hafiz Contractor was a very unhappy schoolboy. In his first and second year, means when he was in first and second class, he was a good student. From the third standard, means when he was in third class onwards, he seemed to have lost all interest in studies. He was particularly afraid of mathematics. I used to get continuous nightmares about appearing for maths examination where I did not know anything. Now the psyche must have gotten over it. I don't have to think about education and there is absolutely no time to get nightmares. Psyche means mind or mentality. Means he had nightmares, means haunting fear about a maths examination. He dreamt of appearing in the examination not knowing anything at all about the subject. But now my mind had come over of these bad dreams. As I had lost interest in studies, I stopped bothering about these bad dreams. In the first and second year, I was a good student. Means when he was in first and second class, he was a good student. After I reached the third standard, means when he was in third class. I simply lost interest and never studied. I used to be interested in games, running around, playing jokes and pranks on others. Means Contractor loved action, not theories. As a student, Contractor was interested in games and playing jokes on others. Pranks means playing jokes. He was a very good sportsman. He was the senior champion for many years. He was also the captain of his school cricket team. Carefree school life. I would copy during exam times. I would try to get hold of the examination paper that had been prepared and study it, as I could not remember things that had been taught to me in class. Means Hafiz Contractor passed his examinations only by copying, means only by cheating. During examination, he used to hold paper and keep thinking about answers of the questions. But he failed to think about answers because when he was in class, he was not having concentration in the studies. He used to play pranks or he was just only looking outside of the class. That is why whatever had been taught to him, he was failed to recall it. The principal's advice. However, when I approached my 11th standard, one sentence spoken to me by my principal changed my life. Principal said to him, "Look here, son, I have been seeing you from day one." Means when I was in class first, when I entered in the school first time. You are a good student, but you never studied. Means as a schoolboy, he did not do well in academics. From the third standard onwards, he seemed to have lost all interest in studies. He was bad at language. He hated mathematics. He had nightmares about his mathematics exam. He used to copy in every test until he reached class 11th. He was pulled up at school. However, when he approached his 11th class, the principal called him and said, "Look here, son, I have been seeing you." Means I have been watching you since day one when you entered in the school. You are a good student, but you never studied in your whole 11 years. The principal said to Hafiz Contractor, "I have taken care of you till today. Now I can no longer take care of you, so you do it yourself. You don't have your father. Your mother has worked so hard to bring you up and paid all your fees all these years, but you have only played games. Now you should rise to the occasion and study." Means principal said to Hafiz Contractor, "My dear son, I was keeping my eyes on you when you were in class 1 till now. But next year you will be in class 12th and would pass the school. So I couldn't be there with you. Now it's your turn to prove yourself and become something in your life by studying hard. Because you don't have your father and your mother worked hard to pay school fees or to paid school fees." Principal, he talked to him for 5 minutes. He encouraged Contractor to rise to the occasion and study. Hafiz Contractor, he said to Bela Raza, "I used to be a very good sportsman. I had been the senior champion for so many years, and I also was the cricket captain. I used to play every game." Means he said, as a schoolboy, I was more interested in games and played funny pranks on others. I was a gang leader and would have a gang fights. I would plan strategies and I was the captain of school cricket team and senior champion for many years. I used to play every game and I was a very good sportsman when I was till 11th class. the advice worked. But that year I did not step out onto the field. I would go for prayers, and all I would do was eat and study. Means the principal's advice had the desired effect on Hafiz, or we can say had a deep influence on Hafiz. For a whole year, he did not go to playground and studied all his books starting right from class 5th. As a result, he scored 50% marks in his SSC exam. Or we can say he would go for prayers and all he would do was eat and study. Then he said, I normally used to copy and pass, but I realized that once I was in SSC, I could not do that. Means normally he used to copy in the examination and passed the class. But when he was in SSC examination hall, he couldn't able to copy down. Hafiz Contractor, he said to Bela Raja, when I got a second class 50% in my SSC, my principal called me and said, son, consider yourself as having got a distinction, means excellence or excellent marks. This is my memory of my school days. I read a book and I can remember the matter as a photograph, but not through my mind. That is how it works with me. Means as a result, I got 50% in my SSC exam or in my SSC. After then, my principal called me and said, my dear son, because of your hard work, you scored 50% in your SSC. Consider this as a great achievement for a below average student like you. I had tried many ways to remember my things. I came up with a conclusion that I could not remember things through my mind, but I could remember my books as a photograph. So that is the way, or this is how it works with me to remember all the things. The punishments at school. Bela Raja, she asked from Hafiz Contractor, when you were in school and you were doing badly, did the teachers pull you up and how did you feel? Hafiz Contractor replied, I never felt anything on being pulled up. I used to be so interested in playing. I would receive a caning every week. Means Contractor was being interviewed by Mrs. Bela Raja or Miss Bela Raja. She asked him if he was punished at school. Contractor replied that the teachers pulled him up regularly. He would receive a caning, means punishment, every week. However, he never felt anything on that account. He was more interested in playing. Again Bela Raja, she asked, when you knew that you had incurred means become subject to, that wrath means extreme anger of your teacher by not doing your homework or by behaving badly, when you knew you would get a caning, what was the state of your mind? Hafiz Contractor replied, state of mind? Just lift up the hand and they would can you. It would hurt badly and then I would have to forget about it because I would want to go and play. Means I used to lift up my hands and my teachers used to punish me. Means Hafiz Contractor raised his hands and his teacher used to punish him because of not doing work. He would hurt badly because of punishment, but he easily forgot the punishment because he wanted to go out to play. A sports freak. Bela Raja, she asked from Hafiz Contractor, you never felt insecure or threatened? Hafiz Contractor replied, I was just interested in playing and nothing else. I was most interested in funny pranks. One day I did not want to study, so I created a distraction. For one whole hour we played chore police means contractor was just interested in playing and nothing else. These things interested him more than the books. One day he did not want to study, so he created a distraction, means something amusing or pleasurable. For one whole hour, they played chore police game. Every Saturday, they were allowed to go into town to watch a movie. He used to have no lunch and collect money from 40 to 50 students to buy tickets, and when returning back he would eat to his heart's content, means eat as much as he wanted. He was also the leader of a gang. He would have gang fights and plan strategies. Strategies means method of winning fights. These things used to interest me more than any academics. Academics means educational matter, books, discussion, debates, etc. These things used to interest him more than any academics, means he was not having any interest in studies. He wanted to just only play. Students used to purchase his books for next year to read as they appeared as new, because he probably opened them just a day before exams. So this was the summary of part 1. Students, you have to complete your homework on the basis of the chapter explained by me. And your homework is read chapter 4, that is the treasure within, and write word meanings highlighted in the video. Based on the understanding of the chapter, write the answers of the questions mentioned in the book It So Happened As. Page number 28, comprehension check, question number 1 to 4. Since many students are not having their It So Happened book with them, so here in this video I have mentioned your homework in detail. Comprehension check, page number 28, question number 1 is, what did Hafiz Contractor have nightmares about? Question number 2 is, what did the principal say to him which influenced him deeply? Question number 3 is, that year I did not step out onto the field. What was he busy doing that year? Question number 4, first part is, what distraction did Hafiz Contractor create one day? Question number 4, second part is, would you have liked to participate in the distraction had you been with him? So these are the questions which you have to do in your fair notebook by following the correct format. Now in this video, we shall discuss homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 1 of chapter number 31, that is book review or film review. That is a part of writing skill. It is taken from PC Wren's grammar book. Students, we have already discussed the meaning of review, film review, movie review or book review, along with its types and tips how to write film review or book review, and format of writing film review and book review in lecture number 1 of chapter 31. As I assigned you homework which was to be done by you on the basis of your understanding, and your homework was revise chapter 31, that is book review or film review, from the book or video, and based on the understanding of the topic, do exercises mentioned in the PC Wren's grammar book as page number 176, exercise number 1 and 2. So let's discuss the exercises in detail. Exercise number 1 is, Write a review of a book that you have recently read. Answer. Here I am not going to write writing skills in detail. Means the answers I am not going to write in detail, because these are depend upon students' understanding and thinking. Exercise number 2 is write a film review of any of the Harry Potter films that you have seen. Answer is also same as per students' understanding and thinking. So this is the end of the lecture. At last, I would like to say that complete your work in neat and clean handwriting and do your best. Students, if you like our videos, please hit on our like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.